Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we are going to talk about the element of art called line. So before we begin, would you please put your first name, last initial, and your class on the line here. So if you're for Miss O'Malley's, before O. So as I said, our term for today is line. Would you write that in the box for our special word? And then I have a picture of a line that goes kind of around the outside of a star but continues on. And the definition for a line is quite strange. It is a point moving in space. I always thought, what does that even mean? And then I realized if I put my point of my pencil down and I move it through the space of my pencil, I have just made a line. Will you please try it out right here in the space right here that I've given you? Put your pencil down and make a line by moving that point through the space of your paper. Okay, we're going to talk about several kinds of lines today. And the first one here is going to be thin. So we are missing a T on the word thin. And for thin, doesn't have to be straight, but just should be a thin line across that box. Okay. The opposite of thin is thick. We're missing a T again. And for this one, I just like to don't fill in the whole rectangle because then it becomes like a shape but not a line. But thicken up that line across that box. Okay. Number 3 is vertical. It starts with a V. And in my brain, I always am like vertical, horizontal, which one's which? Vertical is the one that goes up and down. And I remember this because very tall is my way I remember vertical. Very starts with V, vertical starts with V, and the line doesn't have to be very tall, but it reminds me of vertical. When I used to coach volleyball, we would test our girls their vertical leap. So how high up could they jump? And that's still important for lots of athletes. How high up can they jump? Number 4 is the opposite of vertical, which is horizontal. It starts with an H. And this one, try to get your line as flat across as you can. This one reminds me of the horizon line. So draw a little line over here off to the side of your paper and draw the sun either coming up or setting, something like that. And then on the front, we have one more, which is diagonal. Diagonal starts with a D. I want you to draw one line in the rectangle going that way, and then outside of the rectangle, draw one going this way. Don't connect those two, because then it will look more like a shape or something, a zigzag line. And we want to just show that there's two types of diagonal lines. You can go from the left down to the right or from the right down to the left. Okay, so that is the front. When you have those done, we have a few more examples on the back. So we're going to start with dotted. When you make your dotted line, it does not have to be right flat, but you want to keep your dots evenly spaced. And you want to make sure that they stay small, like a period or a decimal point. You don't want them to become circles because then again, we're into shapes. Number 7 is dashed. And this is going to be almost like little minus signs in a row, little dashes in a row, like on the road when I can pass someone who's going slow. Number 8 is wavy. Now, wavy starts with a point at the top and a curve at the bottom. So it's pointy at the top and round at the bottom. Number 9 is scalloped. That's the opposite. It starts with a point at the bottom and a round at the top. This one reminds me of like a ball bouncing or something. And a lot of times my students will say it's teeth on the top and teeth on the bottom. Number 10, I think, is my favorite. It's embattled. It starts with an E, actually. And you go straight over, straight up, straight over, straight down, straight over, straight up, straight over, straight down, straight over, straight up, straight over, so that it looks like the top of a castle. Try not to have any like points like a mountain in there. Should all be rectangular-ish. Number 11 is zigzag, and that's when we go up mountains like that. And then our last one we're going to talk about today is curly. So you go out, curl back, out, curl back, out, curl back. Okay. When you are done with that, I'm going to let you take these home today so you can set them on the floor for now, and then at the end of class, we will pick them up. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see what you create.